Welcome back, Pit Crew, and in this video we're going to be taking a look at some of the racing and driving titles that I'm really excited for this year in 2024. The first title that we have up is Le Mans Ultimate. Do you know it's been already more than 20 years since we've had a dedicated game for Le Mans, and that goes all the way back to 2000 when we have Test Drive Le Mans. And it's great to have another title that's dedicated for this world-renowned endurance race. And it's not just going to be about Le Mans, as like the title says, but it's going to be focused on the World Endurance Championship. And the timing couldn't be even better because with the announcement of the new GTP class, we're having a lot of manufacturers pouring resources in to build these exciting race cars like Porsche, Ferrari, Lamborghini, that are committing themselves to these 24-hour races and endurance series. At the core of this game is a technology that's really established itself in rFactor 2 as the gold standard in simulation. Studio 397 is behind this title, and with this game, like I said, it goes beyond just a single circuit, which is incorporating the whole entirety of the World Endurance Championship season. And for those that are apprehensive and daunted about the prospects of doing a full 24-hour race, don't worry about it, because there is going to be an asynchronous mode that gives you the flexibility to complete stints at your own convenience, where you can pause it, or even there's going to be a co-op mode where you can hand off your stints to your friend and you can sit there and race together to actually compete and do the Le Mans 24-hour race or any of the other endurance races that are going to be in this title. This game is going to boast a really huge comprehensive lineup featuring the GT cars, the LMP2 cars, and the newest addition that started last year, and that's with the Le Mans Hyperclass cars. So you can sit there and experience the debut and race the iconic machines like the Ferrari 499P and the Peugeot 9X8 in this whole game world. Originally, this game was scheduled for the release in December of 2023, but it got delayed until February, which is going to launch on February 20th, just days before the start of the 2024 WEC race at Losail. While it is going to be a PC exclusive at the start, Studio 397 is contemplating doing a console port, and that's going to be based off of the sale performance on the PC. And the stakes are going to be very high for this title, especially considering that some of the things that Motorsports Games has been going through financially and behind the scenes, because they also just lost the licenses for NASCAR, BTCC, the IndyCar games, and all we really have left now is the Le Mans Ultimate that Studio 397 is developing. So I hope this game succeeds, and I'm really excited for it to come out and give it a try once it comes out on February 20th of 2024. The next title we have coming up is Assetto Corsa 2. Do you remember back in 2014 when Assetto Corsa first came out? It completely changed the landscape of sim racing, and that was really characterized by how it had a very user-friendly handling and a very highly adaptable and easy game code that fostered the development of community-related mods that introduced hundreds, if not thousands, of mods to the game. And subsequently after that, Kunos came out with the SRO organized real-world championship, and that was called Assetto Corsa Competizione. And from that one, people enjoyed this title, but they were a little upset at the lack of mods that you're able to do with it. But this year, we're going to see the release of this title. Now, the nature of this project really remains uncertain. There's not any footage. We have a couple of screenshots out there, but the owners of 505 Games are billing this as the sequel of Assetto Corsa in their financial reports. Now, we have heard some things coming out that there is a slight delay to this project's timeline, because originally it was supposed to come out in the spring, but now it's been pushed to the summer. And the plan is to release this game as an early access on PC initially. Following that, we're going to see the releases on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S. Now, is this going to be a direct sequel to the original or something entirely new? We're not really sure, and it's still up for a lot of speculation. The next title we have coming up is GTRevival. Now, GTRevival is a spiritual successor of the 2000s GTR sim racing titles. It is in the works under the banner of the recently established Straightforward Studios, and they're led by Ian Bell. Now, if you don't recognize that name, Ian Bell was the man behind the Project Cars racing title series. And he's really been the primary source of information about this upcoming GTRevival game, sharing images through his social media posts. Now, straight from the studio owner's confirmation, the release window for GTRevival is set for the holidays of 2024. However, considering really the ambitious endeavors involved, including the utilization of artificial intelligence, for context-sensitive commentary and pit crew audio, there is a bit of skepticism surrounding the possibility of this game slipping beyond 2024. We do have the core team behind the Project Cars series that's working on GTRevival, and the inclusion of Revival in the title suggests a deliberate effort to recapture the enchanting motorsport essence of the earlier titles of GTR and GTR2. We are going to see the classic FIA GT1 cars such as the Ferrari 550 Maranello, the Chrysler Viper GTR, and the Lister Storm that is really going to feature predominantly in this game, but we are going to have more contemporary GT3 car machinery to include the Ferrari 296 GT3. Upon release, GTRevival is going to be published for PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and the hope that this game it transcends being more than being visually appealing and delivers a very substantive and engaging game experience. Upon release, PlayOn is going to publish GTRevival for the PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. And my hope is it just transcends more than just being a visually appealing title and delivers a very substantive and engaging gaming experience. The next title we have up is Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. Now, we've been talking about Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown for 2 years now, and we've been promised this would come out back in 2022. But there have been a series of setbacks that have kept this game out of reach, but the developers have made a promise that 2024 is the year that we're finally going to get our hands on it. My optimistic hope is that these delays have been dedicated to refine the game and eliminate all the bugs and make sure this is a flawless game upon release. And I'm really excited to navigate, having a 1-to-1 scale of a Hong Kong playground and drive it in a fleet of supercars that really has me anticipated for this game's arrival. As the original Test Drive Unlimited was the true pioneer of seamless open-world racing genres, and that was later embraced by titles like Forza Horizon, my expectations are very high for this title. An early build of this game was showcased at Gamescom, and they're going to be using the KT engine, the same engine that was used in the WRC titles until the end of 2022. That does seem a little odd, but from all the videos that we've seen, it's a lot of the chatter, this game does seem to be a very special title. However, this title is going to have some very unique features, particularly really in the realm of handling, and it sets it apart from its immediate competitors such as The Crew and Need for Speed. While it's not really akin to driving the Assetto Corsa mod, the physics do present a challenge from the videos that we've seen, and it demands the players to be on their toes, especially when shedding the driving assist. Now, in this regard, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown introduces a really refreshing approach and the hope that, I'll be able to drive a 1-to-1 recreation of the Hong Kong island. The next title we have coming up is Rennsport. Now, this title's been in beta since the middle of last year. And this title, for the lack of words, has been really divisive because the sim racing platform or the developers behind it have promised big plans for it, but really we haven't seen a lot of progress coming out of it. And there has been the controversy surrounding it about how their physics engine has been made. I'm not going to get into that one. There's a lot of videos out there on YouTube that you can go out there and search and you can find it out there. But essentially this title was slated for release in late 2023. But with that deadline in the rearview mirror, we still don't have an actual release of this title because it's still in closed beta as we speak. They have been doing a lot of updates to the game when it comes to tracks, cars. They've also added in-game currency, electronic VINs, and the first community-created track. Now, I've tried the game out and I have the key. While I wasn't really too thrilled trying it out because the game still does need a lot of polishing, and it seems like these developers are more focused on their esport of the ESL R1 League than they are on the community that is trying to learn more information about this title. So one of my things that I do hope for this year is they provide a greater understanding of how this game is going to get developed and what their goals are for this title when it comes out, especially in a very crowded market. The next title we have coming up is Pista Motorsport. Now, if you live in the Assetto Corsa world, you know the Assetto Corsa modding team, REG Simulations, and they're taking a huge bold step by developing their own dedicated sim racing platform. Now, they're going to be focused on replicating the Argentinian motorsport scene, and this platform promises a diverse lineup of vehicles ranging from single-seaters to the Turismo Pista adapted Fiat Uno. Moreover, real-world venues such as the Autodromo di Rosario, Autodromo Roberto Jose Moras, and the Autodromo San Nicolas are set to be faithfully recreated in this title, because to enhance the realism, the game is going to incorporate LiDAR scans for the track creation, and it's also going to have dynamic animation of the track surroundings, including weather changes, and lifelike representation of crowds, pit crew, and more. The next title we have coming up in 2024 is Japanese Drift Master. Now, this title is going to be for all you Initial D fans out there, because this title promises an open world that fulfills the Japanese racing fantasy that some people hope for in Forza Horizon that would deliver. Now, this game unfolds across miles of mountain roads, a blend of fictional landscapes and real-world inspirations, inviting players to channel their inner Takumi Fujiwara. This title is set against a backdrop of charming towns along Haikama Lake in Japan, and Japanese Drift Master goes beyond typical racing games by incorporating elements of visual novel storytelling. And it promises an immersive experience to include realistic driving physics with a specific focus on drifting and the ability to customize Japanese cars. While none of the cars in this title are officially licensed, they do closely resemble their real-life counterparts. And this game introduces intriguing story mode where players assume the role of a foreigner determined to carve a name for themselves in the Japanese drifting scene. Now, the combination of immersive storytelling, realistic driving mechanics, and customizable vehicles really adds a unique dimension to Japanese Drift Master. The next title I'm excited for is Expeditions, a Mudrunner game. And this title comes from the minds behind Mudrunner and SnowRunner, and offers a departure from traditional racing and positions itself more as an off-road adventure. Now, this title is set to launch on March 5th, 2024, and it's going to be launched across multiple platforms, include the PS5, PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch, and PC. And the game is being heralded by its publisher, Focus Entertainment, as the most advanced physics-based off-road adventure. In contrast to the typical race-to-the-finish approach, players will immerse themselves in leading research missions across challenging off-road landscapes, and the game introduces a dynamic element by allowing players to equip vehicles with cutting-edge gadgets such as drones and scanners, really adding a strategic layer to the off-road exploration. And a really good twist, given the track record of Mudrunner series, known for its remarkable off-road physics and ability to turn slow-paced driving into an engaging experience, I'm really excited and anticipating the release of this title. Again, with the game's unique blend of off-road challenges and scientific exploration, it really promises to provide an exciting and immersive adventure, pretty much making it a must-try for enthusiasts of the genre. The last title I'm excited for is Pacific Drive. Now, this title is going to be part survival horror and part driving game. And Pacific Drive promises to introduce an entirely unique premise, really immersing players in a supernatural road trip across the Pacific Northwest in a beaten down weathered station wagon. Despite really following its development, I'm really not sure what to expect out of this title, but I'm excited to try it out when it comes out. In Pacific Drive, players can customize their beaten up station wagon, navigate multiple paths through a mysterious zone while uncovering secrets shrouded shadows and fog. But be ready for lurking dangers, and there's going to be an immersive driving experience. Now, this title is developed by Iron One Studios and published by PlayStation Studios. And Pacific Drive is going to be, like I said, a first-person driving horror survival game that's set to release early in 2024 on the PlayStation 5 and PC. Now, the story behind this game is you're going to assume the role of a young scientist tasked with exploring the puzzling Olympic exclusion zone. And it's a quarantine region in the Pacific Northwest marked by anomalous energy readings. As the player, you steer your customized vehicle through the excursion zone, and he's going to collect data, fulfill objectives, and navigate a very perilous terrain while avoiding menacing creatures and environmental hazards. Now, the standout feature of Pacific Drive is going to have a procedurally generated world, ensuring that every time you log into the game, you're going to have a very different experience when you enter the exclusion zone. And the game's going to incorporate a dynamic day to night cycle and weather system, influencing how you play the game and the atmosphere to enhance an overall suspenseful experience. Well guys, those are the racing titles that I am anticipating for this year and I'm excited for. What did you guys think? What titles are you looking forward to? Which ones are you wanting to try? And what do you think is going to happen in 2024? Please let me know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you know when we have more videos coming out. And until next time, guys, have fun racing. Later.